And welcome, everyone. It is noon. It is Eastern time on a Wednesday, which of course means it's time for the High Noon Hemp Show. I think you can tell from my hat the kind of merriment that awaits you during this holiday season episode of the High Noon Hemp Show. Of course, you can find us in many places. We're on Facebook at the Temptations Beach Facebook page, also on YouTube if you prefer that method. That is the Jedi Hemp YouTube channel. And on the X or Twitter, whatever it is you call it, at Temptations. Check us out there as well. I am Stoner Jesus. I do various things on the interwebs, which you can check out if you feel like it. He is Beach, an undisclosed haunted farmhouse somewhere in the United States. Beach, how are things this week in the world of temptations?
It's the Hempy haunted farmhouse, actually. Things are good. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, everyone. We celebrate them all. Hanukkah, Christmas, Boxing Day, Kwanzaa, the winter solstice, New Year's Eve. If you consider that, the New Year's Day, I suppose, is actually technically a holiday. I believe it's even a federal holiday. Of course, holidays with a Z coming from us here at the High Noon Hemp Show. Most more than likely, this will be the last show before we see you next year. I don't think we probably will not be here next week. So I hope everyone enjoys whatever holidays they're celebrating in the next couple weeks or so. Because again, it's not one in particular, it's all of them together. Here we are. So remember, the FDA has not evaluated this show for safety or efficacy. Stoner, by the way, do you know what today is?
I know it's a week before Christmas, but what day is it, Beach?
Hemp Day!
It's catching on.
I'm not yelling at anybody. Just telling you it's Hemp Day!
Groundswell of support.
That being said, let's all put our hands to our hemp, or our peace signs to our hemp, and read the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the hemp fields of America and to the soil in which it is planted. One seed under the sun with responsibility, sustainability, and thrivability for all. All right. So it looks like locally, good news. I think that the whole idea of a ban in Ohio is probably going to stall. I think that they're not. I don't even know if they're meeting. I don't know if they've actually released themselves or they're supposed to be in session this week, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. And the Farm Bill is also going to be held off again, and so we will not be seeing any changes to federal hemp laws anytime soon, apparently. So they're filing for an extension. So whatever the current farm bill is, just keeps going until they can agree on a farm bill. I don't know if they will. I'd have to say that, there's a good chance that somehow the Department of Agriculture won't even exist in 2 years if no, hopefully we won't get rid of the Department of Agriculture, but in the next 4 years, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And I half laugh. It's a half laugh. One way or another. But either way, it looks like we're good in Ohio still. And I think we're going to be good federally with no industrial hemp changes, because the Farm Bill, they're just going to extend the current one, which is the one we really, really like and should remain, other than a couple things that we don't like, which I've discussed before, which is the felony. If you have a felony of any sort, you cannot grow industrial hemp in the United States, which is freaking ridiculous. And obviously that 0.3% we want to get boosted eventually, but that's the only changes that need to be made in the Farm Bill according to industrial hemp. So, all right, well, let's get on with the product spotlight. 4 from the store, 1 from my door, here on the High Noon Hemp Show. Here is a menagerie of products, more than one. But these are kind of like the little handbags, and there's a fanny pack in there even, and little purses and bags, and all kinds of different. And these are mostly unisex. Well, they are all unisex. I don't, and so they're just kind of little fun. The dime bags are obviously really fun. They have smell-proof pouches or something of the sort when it comes to those. Look for a little handbag to give someone as a gift, or give to yourself as a gift, because I think that's a better option than anything else. Give the gift of love to yourself with a little hemp bag. The next one here is the new Seven Mountains Delta 9 vapes. So this is just a disposable. As much as I hate the idea of disposable anything, these are, obviously super popular. Everywhere you go, people want Delta 9 vapes. Coming in three of the different terpene makeups with the strawberry AK, Mindo Sky, and of course, for me, grape pie. Because if you don't know from watching the show, grape is my favorite flavor. That's why we have a grape gummy amongst our gummies and the Hemptations gummies, and grape vape, grape vape, grape vape, grape vape. Oh my gosh. Oh, no one in the world has any clue what I'm talking about with that joke, but there was an old cartoon character called Grape Ape, and that's all Grape Ape. So, anyway. I have to reference my pop culture references because I'm old.
Indeed.
I hope you got it. I hope whoever out there, I hope half the people watching got it. Anyway, moving on to some Green Spring Technology pens. That's right, you've seen one just about every entire High Noon Hemp show, and you'll see one again in the What Are You Wearing Beach segment next. But you can purchase one of these pens, give it as a gift, or once again, keep it for yourself. If you like to have a pen handy and you want a environmentally friendly pen, I might add, because they are mostly biodegradable. Obviously, the metal parts, the little bit of metal parts that are there aren't, but the body itself is. And then what you're looking at there, you can see there's two different shades. So the ones on the left, those are actually 3D printed, and the ones on the right are injection molded. Two different forms or ways that we can use hemp in composites. So we can make hemp composites, which is comparable to plastic a lot of times, not all plastic, but some plastic. And we can 3D print with it, or we can inject mold with it. And obviously, you can only engrave on the injection molded hemp, as you can see with the Hemptations on there with a little leaf. So, all right, there you have some Green Springs Technology pens for the holidays. And they do come in a beautiful little hemp carrying bag, little hemp bag, to keep them safe if you want to. Even though they should be pretty safe, they should be pretty strong. It's not like I feel like they're going to break. I carry one every day, and I haven't broken one yet. So, and the last one are the backpacks. Some backpacks here, which is also a great little gift or present to yourself to put your hemp pen in, and your grape vape, and a little bag. So you can get a little bag, put in your backpack, all kinds of bags. Trust me, I'm going to. I was almost there. I was very close, and somewhere I have my bag of bags, the majority of my bags. But at one point, I was very close to getting a picture of all my hemp bags, and I might have actually captured a pretty good one. But throughout the years, I have a huge collection of hemp bags. part of my world-breaking collection of hemp goods that I have in my possession at all mostly times, or scattered around the universe. I was very close to having everything in one room, very close, but didn't quite get there. Now it's all scattered around again. But that's the way my world works, folks. But anyway, there you have it. 4 from the store, 1 from my door is actually, guess what? This is my all-time. I mean, I've been carrying this top bag, and these are the Datsura. Um, uh, that backpack, that is still my backpack. This is when I got these items brand new. I'm gonna guess 7, 8 years ago. Um, these are, the company, and I can never pronounce it right, but it's DATSUSARA, I believe. It's on the label there. I don't know if we could zoom in on that. But they make um, martial arts gear and bags and stuff related to martial arts. That little bag there with the tag is actually called the Joe Rogan fanny pack. If you don't know, about 10 years ago at least, Joe Rogan tried to bring the fanny pack back. I don't know. Some might say they would never went away, but those people just have continuously worn fanny packs. Um, but anyway, I will have to say that I did carry this on my travels. I do take that fanny pack um, because it fits my good camera. I can put both phones in there if I need to. And so, I have to admit when traveling, uh, that's my small bag that I put in my big bag and then use to carry around wherever I am bag. And then the shorts are uh, just shorts. They're just shorts. But once again, this company, they offer gis made of hemp, and I think they have hemp towels now. I haven't been to their site for a while because their stuff is so good that I haven't had to replace it. That's for sure. But I did. I think the last time I saw, they were making towels, and they make a big, huge duffel bag. And I want to preface that one of the reasons that they use hemp is because upon investigation, it is, once again, as we know, the fiber, the material is antimicrobial, antibacterial, and so therefore, they knew that people would be throwing sweaty clothes and their geese and whatever because these were sports bags in there, and so they wanted to use a natural material, but also something that was hygienic, and so that's kind of whereabouts most of their products kind of came from. That ideology, um, and then they make a great bag. I mean, I love the backpack. Couldn't be any more better for me. It has like 10 different pockets, and and there's secret pockets kind of. And in my head, if I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, probably 12 to 15 different pockets, which is that's how my brain works. I like to have different pockets for different stuff. Anyway, and I haven't done it. And maybe I'll do it for the new year. I'll just open it up and pull out everything that's in it, and that's hemp, and kind of give you a shot at they were doing that in Hollywood for a while. What's in your bag? I was like, well, it's just more hemp. It's just more hemp. The life I hope we all live. More hemp. So there you have it. The one from my door is actually 3, and actually those um, little hemp plants back in the back behind there at displays in the corner. That's hemp art that someone had made, and we were actually selling them in the store. But that's hemp paper. Like the leaves are actually made out of hemp paper, and so it's pretty neat. All right, there it is. Product spotlight: 4 from the store, 1 from my door. Here on the High Noon Hemp Show.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Speaking of Beach's world records that he has set, about half hour before the show, if you want to go check out Stoner Jesus 420 on X, I tweeted out about it, tagging the Temptations, of course, and I also tagged GWR on X, which is Guinness World Records. So if you want to go find that, comment, repost it, all that stuff, try to get their attention. Because I know they're busy off doing stupid, useless records, but maybe they could take some time just to send our old representative over to Cincinnati to do a little inventory and see what we got. And until then, this is what we do. This is all we can do, which is put it out on the internet for them to look at. So look at it. This is what Beach is wearing today. Look at it. All I have to do is ask Beach a simple question, and that is, what are you wearing, Beach?
That's true. If you're curious, that your record-breaking hemp clothing inventory.
That's right.
What are you wearing, Beach? From head to toe, as usual. Here you go. That's a Matto, M-A-T-O hat. My jacket there, of course. You see a lot of hemp hoodlums throughout the winter here on the High Noon Hemp Show. What are you wearing, Beach segment? Keeping me semi-warm because it's not too cold, but still a little chilly. Still pretty cold, I guess, maybe. That's an Ono t-shirt. Gotten Enviro Textiles. Go check out Enviro Textiles if you need a t-shirt. Printed with the Hemptations logo on the chest there. A pair of Hempies jeans. I don't wear my Hempies jeans a lot. This is I think the only pair of Hempies jeans that I have. I have some other Hempies pants. My corduroys, I'll be busting those out on the show here sometime soon, I'm sure. But these are my one pair of Hempies jeans. In the pocket there, as mentioned earlier, and almost on every High Noon Hemp Show, my Green Springs Technology pen. Underneath it all, pair of Satori boxer briefs. My socks are from Hempist, and my shoes are Wicked boots, or Wicked shoes. And when I say boots, I like to think high top. Like a boot's got to have a top on it, but I don't know if that's true by definition anymore. If a boot actually does have to have a top on it. But these are definitely outdoor hiking / not good weather shoes with the Wicked boots. And once again, I have to disappoint everyone because I have not checked to see if Wicked has released their new line of boots. I don't know that I did. I think they might have released a shoe. No, that wasn't them. We'll have to check that out and make a note of it one way or another. So there you have it. Guinness World Records, come to Cincinnati. I have at least probably 4 records that I have started and would be willing to challenge the world on, as I do every day.
Step up.
I want the world to step up with your hemp stuff and try to break any one of my. I would say there's 4 different hemp shirt every day for 168 days. Different hemp hat every day for 160 days. Largest collection of hemp goods by any one individual. And then largest selection of hemp goods in a retail establishment. Those are the 4 that I have set. Obviously, the retail establishment varies day to day. So, and if anyone ever wants to challenge me, we can have a count off as to how many hemp products we have in the store. And I have pretty much inventoried my hemp goods. And so if anybody ever wants to compare to that, I'm ready, yo. I've been ready. I've been waiting for the moment for almost 30 years.
That's right. You stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
That's right.
As they say.
That's right. And if you set the record, you don't have to break the record.
That's right. That's on you all.
That's on you all. Anyway. All right. Well, we're there. So here is one more last holidays commercial, and then we'll be back with some news. Dudes, this is going to be a great hemp giving holidays.
Last year could have been better.
Don't worry, this year brings the largest selection of hemp, including CBD supplements and topicals, the newest vaporizers, and the new Hemptations in Dayton, and of course, much, much more.
Sweet!
And you know, Hemptations for 20 years plus has been the procrastination destination for all your holidays goods. Hemptations.com. Having holidays, Hemptations?
Dudes.
Oh, shit. But anyway, we're only in Northside, folks. These are one of the older commercials. It's like the newest vaporizers, I think, was the PAX 3, and that's been new for about 8 years now. So anyway, but enjoying the holidays for all the holidays once again. There you have it. All right, so man, seen a lot about terpenes this week for some reason, but they have found that the terpenes, and these are a couple I don't know about. There's geraniol, linalool, which I have seen before, the B caryophyllene, and I'm sure probably not pronouncing that, phylline, probably not pronouncing that right. That is definitely one of the more common ones that you see in cannabis. And then the A humulene. And these are all showing promise for post-operative and fibromyalgia. Jeez, I don't know, my brain just took a blank. Fibromyalgia, pain relief. And this was another study on mice. We've seen a lot. The mice are getting their cannabis this year. I will have to say, and again, if we're going to do any medical studies on mice, I'm glad to know that it's on. There's so many being done with cannabis, and so it's got to be making the mice happy, I suppose. I don't know, but anyway, and what this is going to and we know this goes back to why we believe in full spectrum. This is why. The whole terpene thing, we're discovering these new cannabinoids and their specific effects or therapeutic value, so to speak. And, we've been talking about terpenes and we're learning more and more about terpenes. The one thing we know about terpenes for sure is they usually give the cannabis their flavor. Now what we're finding out, through these studies and through human testing that testimonials, so to speak, finding what terpenes, the powers terpenes have, and I'm going to talk about limonene, which is one you see also. Now it has proven therapeutic effects because it comes from other plants, so we know that this terpene is in lemons. That's why it's called that. And I believe it's actually in the peel, which gives that, you do like a twist for a drink on an orange zest or a lime zest or anything. I think what you're getting there are terpenes, which is interesting as well, but it's also what, causes that smell or flavor of foods. But they're finding, and this one is proven. And this is one that is also prevalent in cannabis, but there's proven therapeutic effects, including anti-inflammation, antioxidant, anti-cancer, specifically breast. So there are studies out there that show that the limonene terpene, I don't know what the studies show as far as positivity in breast cancer, or reduce breast cancer or prevents breast cancer. I don't know, but there's already studies out there that show that's where it's anti-cancerous, specifically, possibly other places. It's also anti-diabetic, anti-hyperallergesic, antiviral, and gastroprotective. So the terpenes, once again, this is another reason why we have to stop attacking even hemp, because we're going to start affecting terpenes, and we're going to have to start, like all these states that have basically THC bans, okay, are making all the CBD products then go specifically more or less to an isolate. I guess you could do what's called a broad spectrum, which would, um, basically just removes the THC. But then, once again, you're starting to nitpick at all these things that together we're almost sure work better than when they are separated. And I think the idea of using terpenes to flavor vapes, using terpenes to flavor edibles is, probably the next direction, or well, a direction we are trying to go, because we are trying to use actual terpenes on some of our products. But I want to go further with that, possibly because we could flavor our products with terpenes, and that they would have better value, better therapeutic value for the customers. So, I definitely have watched the terpenes for the last couple of years. It's very, very interesting. I really kind of started thinking about it about 5 years ago, and we were watching a cannabis cooking show, and I mean, they had cannabis, like, hands down, in like every form you could possibly have it. And then just, randomly made all these foods out of it, but they had a whole refrigerator full of just the terpenes. Um, and, that really kind of, and that's where the industry is growing. And that's where it's always been, because when we're breeding these plants and we're, the terpenes are a flavor for, with say the whole blueberry strain, I'm sure that there's a terpene that's really responsible for all those blueberries, all those, and so it's important, just like all the other ingredients. Roughly 550 plus different active ingredients in cannabis, in that flower, that all have value. They all have value. Here's a neat little shot of some hempcrete construction. And this is actually from an article which was reflecting on architectural details and construction systems in 2024. Okay, and I quote: Hempcrete offers superior insulation properties, a low environmental impact, carbon sequestration capabilities, and effective humidity regulation. This just solidifies what I've been saying probably since the show started, and that is, hempcrete construction is gaining in popularity everywhere, all over the world. We're seeing more and more hempcrete construction. I love that, this article, which was really about, what the big discussions were in architectural and building construction in 2024. Hemp was, a big part of it, hempcrete specifically. And they did mention hemp fiber insulation as well. But it's really the hempcrete that is gaining in unbelievable popularity, and it should. We can stop dredging and drilling and mining for the particular sand that you have to make concrete. You can grow that mass in 6 months or so, and that's the basically the outside stalk. We call it bast. Or actually, we call it hurd. I'm sorry, bast is the fiber. Hurd, or the shiv, is that those little pieces of and you can use it for animal bedding as well as build a wall with it. And so it's we're going to see in 10 years, once again, it's like I keep saying 10 years, 5 years, honestly, with hempcrete stuff. we've got some little bit of things to work out, I think, as far as load bearing issues. But I think that we're going to see a lot more advancement with hempcrete as a building material in the United States. So a new review of CBG. Its diverse mechanisms translate into a wide range of potential therapeutic applications, including a neuroprotective, anti-inflammation, antibacterial, hypotension, a cancer treatment, again, pain management, and metabolic syndromes. And so, and CBG is on the same lines as a cannabinoid as CBD and CBN, whereas we're finding more of its specific therapeutic value, and it has no side effects. And so, it's one of those cannabinoids like CBD or CBN that you could take a large amount of, and you're not going to have any physical side effects. So, and we've had a little bit of CBG stuff. I think that the therapeutic value is close to CBD. And where CBN is more, we're definitely finding out more of that nighttime aid. Definitely CBN is another one of those. I think it's even more so on the downside than CBD. And so I think CBG is kind of more on the upside or not downside. I don't want to say that, but I think people would rather add CBG to their CBD for during the day and get those benefits there, and then have CBN and CBD at night if you were going to do that. The CBD is the most important one because the CBD has such the broad range of therapeutic value that it does pretty much the job. But if you needed to boost some, either way, nighttime, daytime, you could, once again try that CBG plus CBD during the day, and then again, if you have sleep issues, definitely adding CBN with CBD at night is what we found in our customers. That's the what I have seen, and I've seen some studies recently on the CBN part that have validated that part of CBN as being, on the downside. Good housekeeping, best protein powders. And this is tried and tested by fitness expert, it says. Best vegan was the Form Nutrition Vegan Protein. I guess I forgot to take pictures of these, but anyway. And then the actual best for convenience was a drink. It was called Huel. I get it, so instead of fuel, it's Huel. Hemp. Didn't catch that before. Just catching that now. Huel, ready to drink. And so there were only 6 products on this best protein powders tried and tested by fitness experts and Good Housekeeping, and 2 of them, the first 2 that they mentioned specifically, had hemp in them. So that's once again good to see, because you would be silly if you had a protein boosting product and you did not incorporate hemp into it. It would just and you can still keep whatever it is. Most vegan protein powder is soy, pea, and hemp is moving in quite quickly. The other one is whey, but whey actually is a dairy product. But those are basically the four largest sources of protein out there. And again, hemp is making its move, been there for a while, but making its move into the industry. And again, if you were making a protein boosting product, you would be silly not to add hemp into it.
Now, just to clarify, when you say pea, you mean the vegetable pea?
Yes, that
Yes.
is
Okay.
correct.
Want to get any comments or emails?
Yeah, I don't want
You
to. I
said
don't
there's
want to
pea
start
in the
something
hemp
like.
protein.
Yeah, thank you for that. Hate to have to clarify these things,
Right. It's the internet.
but we are broadcasting to the world.
That's right.
So that is correct. P as PEA.
Yes.
Uh, so, good catch there.
That's right. That's what I'm here for.
In another article, these foods are the best cheap protein sources. Number 24, we all know my favorite number 24. Hemp seeds are a cost effective protein source that delivers numerous health benefits. And the reason that even if they're, you look at this bag of hemp seed and you go, you find some Holden seed or whatever, and they're on the shelves there at a grocery store, and you think, man, that's kind of expensive actually for what you're getting. It only takes 2 tablespoons, I think, to get 16 grams of protein, if I remember correctly. And so, it's cost effective in a sense. It doesn't take much. You don't have to consume a whole lot of hemp hearts to get the protein that you want out of them. So, you sprinkle a little over your oatmeal in the morning or put it in your smoothie. You could put it in your salad at night, just a little bit. It doesn't, once again, doesn't take much. A little bit goes a long way when it comes to the protein value that you get out of the money that you spent. And once again, the more that we see the popularity and these facts, it's not just popular. It's not a popularity contest. This is facts. The food facts show you that hemp is one of the best foods you can be consuming, period, for all kinds of reasons. Essential fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, and that high protein content and fiber content. There's so many reasons why hemp should be a part of everyone's um, diet, one way or another. So, um, there was an article. It was recommended CBD dosage. It was written by a doctor, so I thought I would check it out. It was kind of interesting because they had different dosage recommendations for different things. Like 25 to 75 milligrams daily for sleep. And it was basically roughly in there for PTSD, pain due to chemo, they said. But they also mentioned that you could take up to 600 milligrams daily for severe conditions. And that's a lot. I can't even imagine being able to afford even buying a bottle of 600 milligram tincture for us for a week's supply would be super expensive. I'm not saying that's I don't know that you would need if you need that much. Then I feel like you move on to the THC or something uh, stronger, so to speak. But I agree with that 25 to 75 for most things. Um, I think a good starting for anyone, and like we've said before, and I don't really know where this came from originally, but a long time ago I saw something about 1 milligram of CBD per 10 pounds of body weight. So if you weighed 100 pounds or 150 pounds, if you weighed 150 pounds, 15 milligrams is a good dosage. Okay. And I think you can do that 3 times a day. I say 10 milligrams is really, this is what I try to start our customers on if they've never done it before is 10 milligrams 3 times a day. Um, and then if it's sleep issues, you can, double that at night maybe. And so that's kind of and I think that's worked for a lot of our customers from what I hear. Honestly, I think that's really kind of, and you know, we've always told them that honestly, you could drink the whole bottle of the 300 milligrams for sure, and again, you're not going to have any ill effects so far. And this article actually said that we can tolerate up to 1,500 milligrams a day. Um, and so once again, it just kind of shows you um, how safe it is. You know, and so you know, that's a good look at it. It's, you know, everybody's different. Everybody's issues are different. There's a long list of issues. I think I actually sent over a list kind of here. You know, as you can see, the first three are what I've always said on the show. There's a reason the majority of all of our customers use CBD: anxiety, pain relief, sleep issues. You know, uh, there are a lot of proven at this point therapeutic values to CBD, and you know, finding the right amount for what ails you, um, you know, takes a little bit. Uh, you know, just like it does for any pharmaceutical. You know, I mean, sometimes you got to go a little stronger. Sometimes you don't have to go as strong. You know, that's what we always say: start slow, start low, and go slow. And you know, that means give that a couple 3 days too before you decide that you may need a little more to get through what you need. All right. So I guess, you know, this is a human trial, clinical trials on humans for CBD to prevent psychosis is planned in 2025. And again, this was an article about like the, you know, it was just like 10 clinical trials that are going to happen next year, and they were vast in range of what these clinical trials were going to do. But this one was on there, and I think it's, you know, pretty interesting. There's going to be 1,000 participants in 11 different countries, and they're going to test one group as a pre-treatment. So they're going to take people that are at high risk for psychosis and give them CBD to see if it keeps them from getting psychosis. Uh, they are going to have one batch of the trials that have been recently diagnosed to see if it aids with um, the side effects of psychosis as a medicine. And then the third one is going to include those that have become treatment um, what is it, treatment resistant. So those that have been diagnosed with psychosis, they've already been on medications that are supposed to help with psychosis, and those medications did not help them. You know, I really think this is going to be, and you know, that's going to obviously be the most trying of the trials, because if it does show that it, you know, does, that's the, you know, then we know everything else is good. It's like if you just go ahead and start taking it. But so again, this is a clinical trial, so this would potentially lead to a specific medicine that they are formulating for CBD on these three things to positively be approved by the FDA. Because I know that it takes clinical trials, at least, you know, on humans, to get something approved. So this may be the last step there. We'll see. Obviously, if it works, if it does show the positive promise. So that'll be interesting, because human trials, more and more human trials, and that's where all these mice, you know, that's the mice are taking the brunt of CBD and all these cannabinoids right now, just to see if it's okay to give it to us humans that have been taking it for thousands and thousands of years. Just saying, that's the history of cannabis for medicine. But anyway, so somebody can put their stamp of approval on it. I like it. I like it. We should have clinical trials on everything under the sun for most of the cannabinoids.
Mhm.
So Tennessee's new flower law is going to come to, I think it's supposed to start January 1st, but it is getting, they've asked a judge to put a stay basically on the ban until they can actually see if it's legal for the state to do this. So we'll see how that turns out. Most more likely, one way or another, they will find that the state doesn't have the authority to ban industrial hemp flower in any form for any reason. And again, it would be, I mean, the industry in Tennessee would be over if they basically ban hemp. I don't know how that would even work. So, um, I think I might have mentioned this last week, but congratulations to Illinois, the people of Illinois, and the businesses of Illinois, because they're going to delay the finalization of their new regulations due to public outcry. Again, hopefully we cried out in Ohio enough for the same reasons, but it obviously worked in Illinois because, and this is all of the states where these backdoor bans um, are happening without the people of the state or anybody really knowing what's going on. And I think that's another reason why Ohio's didn't work the first time 6 months ago when the governor tried it, because he was trying to secretly get this through, and then all of a sudden everybody knew about it, and they were like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" And then just recently, in the last session, they were trying to do the same thing again. After it was like, "No, wait," and so I really think that um, public outcry in any state that's trying to do things, I, I have to say they're actually listening in a lot of places, which is good for them. Good for them. I mean, it's their job to listen to the people that voted them into office, whether actually or not. Again, if you're the governor of any state, it's your job to overlook every one of the states, not just your job to look over the party that elected you. That's a ridiculous idea too, which it's just silly, silly. Uh, and I guess new CBD regulations in Hawaii, which I cannot believe, are kind of troubling because they're trying to make CBD 21 and older in Hawaii. Which again, what a ridiculous, ridiculous idea. And then they've come up with this crazy 0.00028 percentage of THC in drinks. I it's just kind of ridiculous, honestly. But and this is kind of crazy because Hawaii, they're newly appointed the Hawaii Hemp Task Force. Okay, they just published their first report. And basically, it says it needs a more stable regulatory environment for a crop with, and I quote, 52,000 end uses, including food, fiber, building materials, textiles, paper, animal feed, cannabinoids, and importantly, a renewable source of fuel. Okay? Like, why? I mean, those two statements are totally contrary of each other. Okay, to say that to say this plant is this great, 52,000 end uses, but it needs more regulation. That's not promoting. That's not helping. Again, that's going backwards in what industrial hemp needs. And again, that's why I don't know how many times, 200 plus probably, because every other show I talk about we need to end all of these licensings, all of these testings, all of this stuff. All of it. We need to treat industrial hemp like soy or cotton or corn or oranges or any other agricultural crop that doesn't have to jump through hoops and ladders and alleyways and all this stuff to be grown. It is the most versatile plant on the entire planet that we call Earth. It can be used for more things than any other plant. There is nothing that even rivals it for those 52,000 plus end products, which I think is also, I want to key on that 52,000. I think it's a great number. It's ironic that in Jack Hare's book, The Emperor Wears No Clothes, he would always tout about 50,000 plus. 50,000 plus. And he had a challenge. Prove him wrong in anything in the book. And that's what he said, 50,000 plus end products. And no one ever challenged it. And then this Hawaii Hemp Task Force, they boosted it to 52,000 plus end products. So they might have been listening to Woody Harrelson on that one. I'm pretty sure he lives in Hawaii. I don't think he's part of the task force, but he should be maybe. But again, you cannot describe something that can do all of that stuff and then in the same breath say it needs more regulations, it needs more this, that, and all the other, it needs less. Okay, you want to get all those benefits and you want farmers to grow this plant for all of those benefits, all of them, then you cannot ask a farmer to have to jump through all these hoops. You know, it's too many I's to dot. It's just, it's ridiculous. It's too many T's to cross. And it just shouldn't have to happen. And you know, that's something that I don't know how far away we are from that, because the states are making all this money. I mean, the state of Ohio doesn't want to give them. I mean, I can tell you this: we're just going to continue to grow less and less hemp in the state of Ohio because of how ridiculous the licensing is and all the stuff. You know, Kentucky, they're pretty good. They just like a $35 application fee. You know, I mean, you still have to have that flower tested at the end of the year. But, you know, a $35 application fee, you know, I don't think the average farmer would be against that. That's something I can understand. And that's really, to me, that's all it needs to happen. That's it. $35 application fee that allows the state to approve your seed or whatever you're going to grow for, and gives them a location of those fields. And then let everyone know that at the end of the year, someone from the Department of Agriculture might show up and randomly test your product. You know, they could easily figure out how to just randomly, even if it's only 10 farms, you know, pick the largest ones, pick whatever it is, just to see how their flowers test. If they come up hot in any one of those, then maybe everybody has to be tested. The whole state. I don't know. You know, that's how the military does it. They only test 10 people, but if someone comes up hot, then everybody gets tested. So why not do the same thing with industrial hemp? No matter what you're growing for. And you know, all in all, you only really focus on those growers that are growing for the flower. Because if they're growing for fiber or they're growing for grain, who cares? There's no THC in the seed. There's no THC in the fiber. There's zero THC. Or like maybe there's like parts per million, I don't know, in my shirt, in my hat, in my socks. It just doesn't exist. Um, so until proven otherwise, and I would like to be proven otherwise scientifically, especially for the seed, because once again, you know, there's this law precedent that a fireman, because he was successful in saying that he ate hemp food, and that made him test positive for THC, and this happened over 10 years ago. I don't even, it's been a long time. And that's kind of now everybody bases their stuff on that. Military, everybody. And it's just not possible. I would love for someone to actually attempt to prove there's any THC in any negligible amounts, even 0.0000028%, like like they want. Um, and so um, less regulations. Come on, you cannot promote an industry. Um, it's not like they're safety regulations. They're not. They're not safety regulations. They're just things to control minutely an agricultural crop that is more beneficial to man than any other agricultural crop on the planet. There is no other. Here's a challenge I'll put out to anyone. I will debate anyone, anywhere, against any ag. You pick your agricultural crop, and I will show up. I don't even need to know what it is. Because I don't need to prepare. There is not one that can compete with hemp for all of the end products that it can make. Not one. There's no plant. There is no other plant that is efficient as hemp is at feeding the planet, housing the planet, clothing the planet, fueling the planet. It's endless. No other plant, not one, can do that. So there you go. There's my challenge. You tell me where you want me to show up for a debate. And I don't even need to know what agricultural crop I'm debating. And you can prepare yourself to lose the battle.
Right.
And I don't care how much you know about that one plant. You're going to lose the battle. Because they probably don't make hempcrete out of it, or they don't make crete out of it. Anyway, so hello, welcome to Costco. I love you. So I found an article: 20 best high protein foods at Costco. Number 17, Kirkland Signature Organic Hemp Hearts. So
Wow.
I haven't done the big box discount store thing in a while, but if you're a Costco shopper, get your hemp hearts there. Get that, Costco's admitting that they are a high protein food. And then, it's probably like a big old bag that doesn't even cost that much. Man, imagine how well that would last, how healthy you're going to get. Okay. A study demonstrated, and this is kind of interesting because I had someone, there's, I guess, many different ways. So a study demonstrated that extraction of cellulose from hemp bast fiber, I was talking about the bast fiber, using deep uretic solvents, which are referred to as DESs in the world, works well, showing that this innovative process highlights the potential of these green solvents. So your DESs, whatever they are green solvents, and they're a sustainable alternative to traditional methods that rely on harmful chemicals. Surprise, surprise. The current way is not good for the planet, no matter what it is. Now, we say cellulose, huh? Cellulose is a polymer, if you didn't know, binding agent, so to speak. And it is utilized across various industries, including water treatment, gas separation, food, cosmetics, all of it. And so, I don't know. I did not look to see where the most, or where cellular, or where are we getting cellulose from now? Plants, animals? I don't know. I bet there is, probably both. I don't know for sure, but it is a product that is highly prevalent, obviously, in our everyday world. Knowing that hemp reacts well to green solvents to extract the cellulose, once again, is an environmental game changer. Uh, if we can remove the use of harmful chemicals, much like that argument that I have made for 30 years, and the fact that cotton uses over a third of all the chemicals and all the agricultural crops, a third of those chemicals are used to grow cotton. So we figure out either how to not use those or grow a plant that doesn't require any herbicides or pesticides and is stronger than cotton. Now imagine if we could remove all those chemicals from a third. Boom, gone. No longer going into the ground, no longer, doing their destruction. Same with this process. Hey, if we can grow enough hemp and use green solvents to extract the cellulose, hopefully we can stop getting cellulose from wherever we get it that requires these harsh chemicals to be used. Oftentimes it's not the product itself that is the bad guy, so to speak, but the process of making the product is what ends up being the bad guy. And this is my argument against most plastic or styrofoam, as much as the fact that it never goes away, which to me is a reuse or recycle issue as well. But it's really the waste. Okay, we should only make recyclable plastic, and we should start limiting how much plastic is in the world at this point. And I think going forward, we shouldn't even be able to make plastic that's not recyclable. Okay, just stop that altogether. Um, but even making plastic that's recyclable, the waste is also the issue. Where does that go? What are we doing with that? Can't be good for the planet. And so, the waste issue to me has always been yet another reason why hemp is so great, is because, one, there is no waste issue. You can literally use every part of the plant from the root to the flower for something that would benefit humanity or the animals, either one or both. Um, and so, it takes an nth of the water to make a hemp t-shirt compared to the amount of water to make a cotton t-shirt. And so it's the reduction of all the process of sometimes making these products that even doubles up on why hemp is so great for everything that it does. It should be grown everywhere that we can, one way or another. All right. Well, we've only got one event coming up. I will see you before then, because we'll try to broadcast on New Year's Day. See how that goes. I don't know if Stoner, you got big New Year's Eve plans. If you can
Not
make it
these
to
days.
the show by noon on on Wednesday.
20 years ago, probably not.
If I'm up, past midnight, then I'll be surprised. The High Noon Hemp Show on New Year's Day may be me celebrating New Year's Eve. Either way. But we January 7th, which is technically the first Tuesday in January, we will be doing the medical marijuana meetup. I think that Bonnie's going to go back to monthly, which I love, honestly, because now that they're at the Carrick Spirits. So if you're anywhere in the Cincinnati area, these go from about 8 to 11, or she's even thinking about going a little bit longer, a little bit earlier, because we have the place to ourselves, we have the parking lot to ourselves. And so we might even make it a little bit of a longer event on the first Tuesday. These are the medical marijuana meetup. You can go to meetup.com or the Meetup app and sign up for it. And then just look for the medical marijuana group here in Cincinnati. And then, you'll get the notifications and things like that too. But these are great. I go as a hemp representative. I bring my hemp knowledge and I learn hemp stuff while I'm there, because it's just a great group of people and very knowledgeable on all things cannabis, one way or another. So that's January 7th, the first Tuesday of January, and they're going to be the first Tuesday of the month every month. And again, that's at Carrick Spirits Company over kind of on the east side, Fairfax area of Cincinnati. But I love these events. Put it on the calendar if you're anywhere in the area, because now we have the place to ourselves. They do have THC drinks, canned drinks. And they're their own spirits as well, beverages and food. So come join us for that. And again, I will see you one more time before then, but the next time I see you will be next year. So everybody out there, celebrate whatever holidays you celebrate, or don't celebrate anything.
Yeah.
Guess what? Even if you don't make a choice, you've made a choice. There's a Rush lyric about that somewhere. And it's okay. Trust me. We are 100% on board here with not celebrating or celebrating in the mall, because equality is a good thing. Either way, remember, folks, reduce, reuse, recycle, make everything else out of hemp. Having hemptations.
See you all next year.